So I'm here about to start a repair on my 02 Mastercraft. I've got an Indmar 5.7 motor on it. We were out surfing and completely lost oil pressure, had to be towed into the marina. And after researching a little bit, trying to figure out what the issue was, thinking it might have been the cannon plug, possibility of a oil pressure sender unit. Anyway, replaced that, did a complete oil change with filter, got a new pressure gauge or new gauges, a new oil pressure sending unit. None of those items corrected the issue. Did a manual check again, zero pressure at all. Got a hold of Indmar, and the technicians got back to me in regards to, apparently there was a service letter that went out that on these Indmar engines, that the oil pump drive shaft, the gear unit fails. And so after about the first 5 to 10 hours, it was supposed to be checked, and then it should be checked every 50 hours on your boat, as far as making sure there's not a problem on the gear. So I'm about to go ahead and change that. Hopefully that's the issue. I couldn't find anything on the internet or the Tech Talk lines in regards to the issue, so I figured, well, I'll go ahead and do a video of my repair, and hopefully it'll help others with the same issue. So here's my motor on the 2002 Mastercraft X30. As you can see, I've already replaced my oil pressure sending unit. That wasn't the problem, but on this particular motor, it's the 5.7 LTR motor. This is where it's electronic fuel injected, so you don't have a distributor. This is where your distributor would normally be. And so what we're gonna do, apparently, is the oil pump drive shaft is right underneath this. So we're gonna go and remove this, and then be able to pull that shaft out and inspect the gear, and hopefully that's the issue, that the gear failed for my oil pump. All right. So once you have that retainer off, with a little bit of pressure, loosen this up. You have to twist it a little bit. That'll lift right out. And as you can see, gear is wasted. So I've got a part that's on order, and we'll replace that and reinstall, and we should be good to go. As you can see, the gears are really worn down on the old one, and so that is my failure. If you look at the new one, fresh gears, all in good shape. So I did tear the gasket out, and the new one did not come with a gasket. So I just went ahead and cut out a new gasket with the Felpro gasket, so that I have a new gasket to go on there. And now this new one should fit right into that location. And you see the oil pump shaft all the way down to the bottom there. I'll have to select the gear ratio and then get that shaft to fit into the oil pump drive. So it'll take a few times to line that up. So let's try it. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put in some engine assembly lube, only graphite. So I'm going to put that right on the gears. So as you can see, I've got some gear, or some engine assembly lube on the gears. And so I'm going to put this, try to line that up with my oil drive shaft. See that way down in there, and try to line this. So let me set the camera down, take a couple times to line this up, and we're going to put that right down in there. Okay, after about 3 tries, that slipped in quite nicely. You can see, I'm going to clamp that down with my clamp, and we're going to fire up the engine and see if I have oil pressure. So we have a 9/16 nut, and so what I'm going to do is tighten that up. I don't have a torque setting on this nut, so I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to tighten it where I think it was when I loosened it, and then I'll look up the torque specs a little bit later to torque that down, and then it should be installed. All right, moment of truth as far as trying to see if replacing my oil pump drive shaft has returned the oil pressure to my boat. So I'm going to start it up here and see if everything works. Wonderful, wonderful. Before it was showing 0, the oil pressure alarm would go off, so all was good. And again, replacing it. Started off with replacing that, checking my oil pressure, and it turned out to be that with a bad gear. So for those of you that have an Indmar 5.7 LTR, this is absolutely something you should check with every oil change, because you will definitely break down and not have any oil pressure in your boat whatsoever.